All right, let's dive into the single most important concept in Blackjack. Seriously, it's the one thing that's quietly working behind the scenes on every single hand. But most players, well, they just don't see it. Let's pull back the curtain on that.
You know the feeling, right? You're sitting at the table, everything's going great, and then suddenly the dealer just can't seem to lose. You start to think, come on, how is this even possible? Well, I'm here to tell you that feeling, it isn't just you being unlucky. There's a real mathematical force at work, and once you understand it, the whole game changes.
And that force is called the house edge. Now, this isn't some kind of shady trick the casino is pulling. Think of it more like the mathematical DNA of the game. It's this invisible, built-in advantage that's just always there, humming along in the background. So what does that actually mean? Well, the house edge is basically the average cut the casino expects to take from your bet over a long, long time. So if a game has a 1% house edge, it means for every $100 you cycle through that table, the casino's math says they'll end up with about $1 of it. It's not a guess. Over time, it's a statistical guarantee. But wait a second. If the casino is guaranteed to win, how do people walk away with money? Great question. It's because that edge only works over thousands and thousands of hands. That roller coaster ride you feel in one night, the big wins, the frustrating losses, that's just short-term luck. We call it variance. But give it enough time, and the math will always, always pull things back toward that built-in house advantage. So let's talk numbers, specifically for Blackjack, because here's what makes this game so fascinating. The house edge in Blackjack, it's not a fixed number. It's actually a moving target. And guess who's in control of it? You are. Just look at that, 0.5%. That is ridiculously small. This is why pros say Blackjack is one of the best games you can play in a casino. If, and this is a big if you make the perfect mathematical play on every single hand, what we call basic strategy, and you're at a table with good rules, the casino's edge is tiny. It is as close to a coin flip game as you're ever going to get. But here's the reality check for most of us. Your average player, the person who's just playing with a gut feeling, maybe splitting tens because it feels right, they're not facing a 0.5% edge. Oh no, they're giving the house somewhere between 2 and 4%. That's a massive jump. We're talking 4 to 8 times higher. All those little gut decisions, they add up and they cost you real money. And oh, it can get so much worse. If you're making consistently bad plays, like always taking insurance or just hitting and standing randomly, that edge can absolutely skyrocket to 5% or even higher. At that point, you might as well be playing a slot machine, because you're giving the casino the same kind of massive advantage. So here's the takeaway I really want you to hear. You have direct control over this number. Every single decision you make at that table either keeps that edge pinned down near that beautiful 0.5%, or it sends it flying up into the casino's favor. Your choices are everything. So let's look at how this happens. These aren't just oops moments. They are literally financial gifts to the casino. Basic strategy says you should always double down when you have a total of 11. When you don't, you're giving up your best chance to maximize a winning hand. Every one of these mistakes actively pushes that house edge up against you. And it's not just about how you play your hand, it's also about where you choose to play. A table that pays 3 to 2 for a blackjack is way, way better for you than a table that only pays 6 to 5. If the dealer has to stand on a soft 17, that's better for you than if they get to hit. These look like tiny little rule changes on the felt, but they have a huge impact on the underlying math of the game. Okay, now we need to talk about the casino's secret weapon for getting their edge back, even from players who know what they're doing. I'm talking about side bets. They're bright, they're flashy, they're tempting, and they are complete and total mathematical traps. The casino puts these things right in front of you. A little circle on the table that says perfect pairs or 21 plus 3. They promise these huge lottery-style payouts for just a tiny extra bet. Sounds great, right? But they exist for one reason and one reason only. Their hidden cost is astronomical. And there's that cost, a house edge of 10%. 10. Just think about that. We were just celebrating that beautiful 0.5% we can get on the main game. This little side bet right next to it has an edge that is 20 times higher. You could be playing perfectly, like a genius, but if you're tossing a chip on this side bet every hand, you're just bleeding money. Okay, so let's tie all of this together. Let's focus on the one number that truly matters at that table. It's not about how lucky you feel or if you're on a hot streak. It's about really, truly understanding what's in your hands and what isn't. This right here, this is the whole game. You can't control what card comes out of the shoe next. You can't control if the dealer pulls a 21 out of thin air. That's all noise.
But what you can control 100% is how accurately you play your strategy, which table you choose to play at, and whether you fall for those sucker side bets. Focus all your energy on the stuff in that first column. So this means we need to stop asking the wrong question, which is, am I going to win tonight? We need to start asking a much, much smarter one. And that is the question, on average, what is the price I'm paying to play this game? The house edge is the only thing that answers that. It totally reframes gambling. It's not a get-rich-quick plan. It's a form of entertainment that has a quantifiable cost. And your job as a smart player is to get that cost down as low as you possibly can. And really, that's the bottom line. You are never going to defeat the math in the long run. It's impossible. But by understanding the house edge, you can manage it. You can pick the better tables, you can make the right plays, and you can walk away knowing you played the smartest possible game. You're giving the math the respect it deserves, and in Blackjack, that is the only real way to play.